Hello everybody out here in the all corners of the world. My name is Thomas again. I'm from Ethiopia. Our country Ethiopia is located in Eastern Africa, and it has lots of tourist attractions. One of the best tourist attractions of Ethiopia is the obelisk of Aksum. The obelisk of Aksum is a 4th century CE, that means Ethiopian calendar, and 24 meters tall or 79 feet. Phonolite steel, weighing 160 tons in the city of Aksum, Ethiopia. It's ornamented with two false doors at the base and features decorations resembling windows on all sides. The obelisk ends in a semicircular top, which used to be enclosed by metal frames. The obelisk, properly termed a stela in the local language Tigrinya, Amharic, and church language, gives halt or halti, as it is not topped by a pyramid, and is found along with many other stela in the city of Aksum in modern-day Ethiopia. The stela were probably carved and erected during the 4th century CE by subjects of the Kingdom of Aksum, an ancient Ethiopian civilization. Erection of the stela in Aksum was a very old practice, and today it is still possible to see primitive, roughly carved stela and near more elaborate obelisks. It is assumed that the structure of the stela was probably borrowed from the Kushite kingdom of Mera. The function of stela is supposed to be that of markers for underground burial chambers. The largest of the grand markers were for royal burial chambers and were decorated with multi-story false windows and false doors, while lesser nobility would have smaller, less decorated ones. While there are only few large ones standing, there are hundreds of smaller ones in various stela found and fields. The last stele erected in Aksum was probably the so-called King Izana's stele in the 4th century CE. King Izana, from 321 to 360, stayed influenced by his childhood tutor Fragmentos, introduced Christianity to Aksum, precluding the pagan practice of erecting burial stele. And that seemed that at the feet of each obelisk, together with the grave, there was also a sacrificial altar. Over the course of time, many of these stela fell over, due to several reasons. Structural collapse, as probably in the case of the great stele measuring 33 meters, possibly immediately after the erection, earthquakes, as Aksum is in a seismic zone, and the military incursions of the Imam Ahmed during the Ethiopian Adal War from 1529 to 1543. In the 19th century, of the three major royal stele, only King Izana's still remained erect, shown in the print. The obelisk of Aksum, as Henry Salt said, from 1780 to 1827, Salt traveled back to England with Captain Thomas Fragmentos, and the design of the obelisk of Aksum influenced that of the Nelson Monument and parts downhill, for which Fragmentos raised the funds. At the end of 1935, following the Italian occupation, Italian soldiers found King Izana's obelisk of Aksum fallen, broken into 3 sections, and semi-underground. The stele was one of about 50 obelisks in the city of Aksum at the time of the discovery. In 1937, it was taken as rare booty and moved to Italy. The monolith stele was cut into 5 pieces and transported by truck along the tortuous route between Aksum and the port of Masor, taking 5 trips over a period of 2 months. It arrived via ship in Naples on May 27, 1937, to then transported to Rome, where it was restored, reassembled, and erected on Port Capin and Capena Square in front of the Ministry for Italy and Africa, later the headquarters of the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization and the Circus Maximus. It was officially unveiled on October 29, 1937 to commemorate the 15th anniversary of the March on Rome. The operation was coordinated by Hugo Monoret de Villard. A bronze statue of the Lion of Judah, symbol of the Ethiopian monarchy, was taken along with the obelisk and displayed in front of Taormina railway station. In a 1947 UN agreement, Italy agreed to return the stele to Ethiopia, along with the other looted piece, the Lion of Judah. While the latter was returned in 1967 following the 1961 visit of Emperor Haile Selassie to Italy, little action was taken to return the stele for more than 50 years, partly as a consequence of the considerable technical difficulties related to its transportation. One source also suggests that Emperor Haile Selassie, after hearing of these technical difficulties of the enormous costs necessary to overcome them, decided to grant the stele to the city of Rome as a gift for the renewed friendship between Italy and Ethiopia. This assertion, however, remains controversial and was not recognized by successive authorities. Colonel Mengistu Haile Mariam, who overthrew the emperor in 1974, asked the Italian government to return the stele to Ethiopia. Another controversial arrangement, according to some sources, seems to be that Italy could keep the stele in exchange for the construction of a hospital in Addis Ababa, thus St. Paul's Hospital, and for the cancellation of days owed by Ethiopia. In any case, after the fall of the Mengistu regime, the new Ethiopian government asked for the return of the stele, finding a positive answer from the president of the Italian Republic, Oscar Luigi Scalfaro, in April 1997. The northern stele appeared in Aksum, with the king is on stele at the center and the great stele lying broken. The first steps in dismantling the structure were taken in November 2003 under the supervision of Giorgio Crocchi, professor of structural problems of monuments and historical buildings at Spencer University of Rome. The intent was to ship the stele back to Ethiopia in March 2004, but the repatriation project encountered a series of obstacles. The runway at Aksum Airport was considered too short for a cargo plane carrying even one of the thirds into which the stele had been cut. The roads and bridges between Addis Ababa and Aksum were thought to be not up to their task road transport, and access through the nearby Eritrean part of Mysore, which was how the stele originally left Africa, was impossible due to the strained state of relations between Eritrea and Ethiopia. The runway to Aksum Airport was then upgraded specifically to facilitate the return of the stele. The dismantled stele remained sitting in a warehouse near Rome's Leonardo da Vinci International Airport until 19 April 2005, when the middle piece was repatriated by use of an Antonov 124 amidst much local celebration. It has been described as the largest and heaviest piece of air freight ever carried. The second piece was returned on 22 April 2005, with the final piece returned on 25 April 2005. The operation cost Italy $7.7 million. The stele remained in storage while Ethiopia decided how to reconstruct it without disturbing other ancient treasures still in the area. By March 2007, the foundation had been poured for the erection of the still near King Ison's still structurally consolidated in this occasion. Reasonably, began in June 2008 with a team chosen by UNESCO and led by Georgia Crocky, and the monument was re-erected in its original home and unveiled on 4 September 2008. When it was reassembled in Rome in 1937, 3 steel bells were inserted per section. When the obelisk was hit by lightning during a violent thunderstorm on 27 May 2002, this caused considerable damage. In the new reconstruction, the 3 sections are fixed together by a total of 8 aramid fiber bars. 4 between the first and second, and 4 between the second and third sections. This arrangement guarantees structural resistance during earthquakes and avoids the use of steel so as not to again make the steel a magnet for lightning and to avoid rust. Several other similar stela or obelisks exist in Ethiopia and Eritrea, such as the Hawalti in Mitra. Like the obelisk of Axum, the other stelae have a rectangular base with a false door carved on one side. Thank you for listening to me, and for the next time we will discuss other issues. Stay tuned. Thank you.